Welcome. Really glad you're joining us. I wanted to welcome Charlene to our wonderful band. Hello. And if you're able, how about if we stand and we'll sing our way into the day?
Let's usher in the presence of Spirit today.
Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel that mighty power and the grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
Take a moment and greet someone maybe that you don't know.
Good morning. I'm a little spacey today. All day with my mother yesterday.
Oh, mercy.
Yeah. And the day before. It's time.
Get it off
Woo!
you. Get it off
Woo!
you. Shake it, shake
Thank
it.
you, thank you, thank you. That helped.
Leave the space up there.
Yes. So what's the next one?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
One, two, one, two.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time.
We'd like to invite any of the children that are here today to come on up and be with their teacher, Nevin, and teacher Joe. There he is in the back. And we're going to sing them into their outdoor classroom.
Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, the mountains and valleys and the animals too, and the sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Andrea Wood, and I'm the practitioner this morning, along with Wanda Maddox and Kayla Schlaviel. And we are your practitioner team this morning, and we are here to pray with you. We take prayer requests on our website, and we also have a prayer vessel in the back that you can write a prayer request on. And now I would like to invite you to join me in prayer. So let's join our hearts and our minds together in knowing that there is one eternal, infinite presence. From this presence, all creation flows, and all beings are a divine expression of this one. And this one lives in the heart center of my being, sharing its love, peace, and wisdom, and so much more. I live and move and have my very being in spirit. It is good. So as we come together this morning at CSL Bellingham to celebrate our community, to live into our connection more deeply, I know that it is good to let go, to up-level, to know Spirit deeply, to say, Spirit, what is there for me to know? As I move into the growing green edge of my own becoming, I celebrate this truth. I'll celebrate CSL Bellingham. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is.
And so it is.
I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. Letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. as I'm letting go. I am healed, I am made whole. I am letting go of the things that no longer serve me. As I'm letting go, I am healed, I am made whole. I am healed, I am made whole. I am healed, I am made whole.
Well, welcome again. Thank you, everyone. So, a new month, new topic. If you're just joining with us, every year we have a yearly theme, which is living beautifully. And every month we tie in something that goes with that. And this month is something I've wanted to talk about for quite a while. So I'm working it in since this is my last year here. And so the theme for the month is contemporary violence and inner peace. And it seemed appropriate somehow to be speaking to this from a spiritual perspective, and particularly a science of mind spiritual perspective. Today, though, each day that I'm speaking, I'm going to be bringing you one of my teachers, because I needed to learn how to be with violence and how to cultivate inner peace as I grew up. And by growing up, I mean up until right now. So today I'm bringing you someone that's very powerful, and I can only pretend to scratch the surface of his thinking. His name was Friar Thomas Merton, and he was born in 1915 and passed away at 53 years old in 1968. He was born in France, but he immigrated to the United States, went to college, and then was really drawn to the spiritual life and became a Trappist monk. He was also an incredibly prolific writer, so if you look on the internet, you'll find all kinds of free things that you can read. He was a mystic and a poet and a social activist. 68, you remember Vietnam and all the things that were happening then. And so he was one of my teachers that taught something super important, because, I was actually kind of a child during the Vietnam thing. But unfortunately for all of us, violence didn't stop there. It's still happening. And I struggled to find my place and what to do and how to do it and who to do it with. And as the years have gone on, some of the things that Merton said have stayed with me. So I'm starting today with him on purpose, because he has a lot to say about what I've realized is super important about dealing with contemporary violence. And it has to do with inner peace. So let me read you what he means by contemporary violence, and then I'll tell you what I mean, sort of to get us started. So he has a very famous quote, you can find it everywhere, that goes like this: "There is a pervasive form of contemporary violence to which the idealist easily succumbs: activism and overwork. The rush and pressure of modern life are a form, perhaps the most common form, of its innate violence. To allow oneself to be carried away by the multitude of conflicting concerns, to surrender to too many demands, to commit oneself to too many projects." Anybody besides me? To want to help everyone and everything is to succumb to violence. The frenzy of our activism neutralizes our work for peace. It destroys our own inner capacity for peace. It destroys the fruitfulness of our own work, because it kills the root of inner wisdom, which makes work fruitful. So that's what he means by contemporary violence. And of course, I also think he's right about that, and we can apply it to the larger global scene of violence that's unfolding in this time, in this era. So what he's talking about here is how it destroys our peace. And for the longest time, I don't know if this is true for you, but for me, for the longest time, I thought that inner peace would come after violence stopped. I don't know how I don't know. But that's actually not true. It's the opposite. And it took me a while to get it, but I finally realized somewhere in this journey of mine that you have to have inner peace first, so that whatever violence is happening, there's a sturdy, resilient platform of inner knowing and peace connected to the divine, that allows us to work with the outer circumstances that confront us. Certainly in these last few years, this has become extremely obvious to me, that my own inner peace is the place to start. And so I wanted to talk to you about a little bit about how I've done that, and how I'm doing that, because it's a life. I have a feeling it's a lifelong thing so far, anyway. Merton had a mystical experience in London, And this is actually how I discovered Merton, because as you probably know if you've been coming, I love mystical experiences. I love reading about them. I love people who have had them. I like having them myself. And so he had this incredible experience. He was in a coffee shop in London, and he went outside, and this is like just an everyday thing, right? He went outside, and everything had turned to light. The double-decker buses, the taxis, every person on the street, no matter what they were doing and what they looked like, were all completely radiating and filled with light. And he said at that moment that if he could have, he would have fallen to his knees at the glory of it all. And so that's what captured me first about Merton, and then he began to talk about what it takes to have inner peace. And so this is what I've discovered for myself, is in the science of mind tradition, there's a slogan, just like in recovery traditions, there's slogans. Well, we have them too. They're slightly different sometimes. And this one is, what we dwell upon, we become. What we dwell upon, we become. And so one of the things that I began to realize that is important to pay attention to is, what am I dwelling upon? And at that stage, when I really was taking in that teaching, I began to pay attention to the things that I was putting my attention on and pruning them. Because in our society, there's a tremendous amount of violence built in to our culture. It's everywhere, actually. When you begin to pay attention and you're looking for it, you see it. So I know many of you play video games, computer games, and so I don't want you to think you shouldn't ever do that. However, it would be very powerful to pay attention to how much and what you're playing. Because although certainly no one in this room or listening would probably ever want to become a violent being, enough time spent in certain violent video games is dwelling upon. Just is. And so it begins to normalize violence. The same is true with movies, which many of you know I can't even go to very many movies anymore because there's so much violence built in. And I guess that the cinematographers think that's what sells, and maybe it is. Because fundamentally, violence is around. But for me, I don't want to expose myself over and over to that kind of experience. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to see it. I don't want it in my mind. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to. There's enough without even focusing on it. All you have to do is, turn on the radio and there it is, which is another thing. Television, radio, computers, downloading things. It's all about paying attention. And I know I probably sound like a mom right here. And that's because I am. I am the mother of spirituality here in this place. And what I have to say is that dwelling upon these things really impacts how we are. It impacts our inner peace. But as if that wasn't enough, I began to realize that, there's more. There's more. And I could go on and on about this, but the more that I'm going to bring you is, I wanted to have a visual, but I didn't get to the sound team in time. So imagine, if you will, Times Square in New York City at night. And how many of you have been there? Okay, a lot. And so there's these huge billboards with flashing lights and lots of, wonderfully half-naked people and all kinds of, stuff going on. And there's cars and there's people and there's buskers and there's all kinds of stuff going on in this little bitty area. And it's a great image for the other part of developing inner peace, because there's something called too muchness. And that's directly what Merton was pointing to. Remember, he said, to surrender to too many demands, to commit ourselves to too many projects, to want to help everyone and everything, is to succumb to violence. And so I began to realize that it would be very easy to be taken over by all the things that need to be done. Does anybody have this? Yeah, please raise your hand. Thank you. Yeah, and that one of the violences that I was doing to myself was trying to do more than I could, repeatedly over time, which, if you've studied neuroscience at all, you know that this is very bad for your body, to be stressed out all the time because you're not getting everything done, because you know what? You can't. There's so much. You can't get it all done all at once. Maybe ever. Not sure. And so too muchness is a slogan that now I learned from a man named Dan to help me understand that one of the ways that I could develop inner peace was to really become very focused on what was most important to me. Not to anybody else, to me. And so Dan developed a system where you choose the top 6 things to do each day. Just 6. And the instruction was to make sure that I was on there in the things that I wanted to do. So things like the gym, or walking with a friend, or having a massage, made it into the top 6, which in the old days, when there was too muchness, those things disappeared, because it was all about getting stuff done. So top 6 has been the antidote for me to that too muchness, and kind of really bringing my attention into how do I want to live this day? It might be my last day. How do I want to be in it? What do I want to experience? And yes, all kinds of stuff to do finds its way onto that list, but in manageable doses, so that my nervous system isn't freaked out all day long because I'm not getting enough done. So too muchness. So we've got what you dwell upon, you become. Too muchness. And then the sort of the residual of living in a place where we're not paying attention to the sort of residual nervous system anxiety and the built-in violence of our times, when we're not really paying attention to that. I don't know if you have this, but I get overwhelmed, particularly around politics. I get overwhelmed. But in so many ways, there's an overwhelm. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've noticed for myself that overwhelm has this snowball effect. So I start with paying attention to things that I can't do anything about, I have no control over, and I start getting really overwhelmed by what can I do and how can I do it, and do I make a difference, and no, I probably don't, and yes, I probably do, and overwhelm, and then that goes to anxiety. And then anxiety, that goes to a feeling of just depression, anger, and then that goes to poor decision making. It's like a snowball effect. And so I end up doing violence to myself by allowing myself to be overwhelmed and then cascading into these different states of being. And then trying to make decisions out of this state of being that is not peaceful. It's not in any way close to peace. So, as well as what we dwell upon, we become, and too muchness, there's a couple of other things that can help us take charge and immerse ourselves in the ability we all have, because all sacred humans have the ability to have the experience that Merton had in London. All sacred humans have the ability to see beyond the curtain of the created world that we're living in, that has things flying all over the place all the time. We have the ability to live from a different place. And that allows us to move from inner peace. And so I brought a little piece that Merton wrote. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. This harks back to his experience in London. He kept having these mystical experiences. And so this is out of a piece he wrote called Conjectures of a Guilty Bystander. Then it was as if I suddenly saw the secret beauty of their hearts, the depths of their hearts, where neither sin nor desire nor self-knowledge can reach, the core of their reality, the person that each one is in God's eye. Remember, he's Catholic. If only they could all see themselves as they really are. If only we could see each other that way all the time. There would be no more war, no more hatred, no more cruelty, no more greed. But this is something that cannot be manufactured, only seen, believed, and understood. And so, one of the things we can do, you guessed it, I'm going to talk about spiritual practice. Because one of the purposes of doing any spiritual practice, it doesn't really matter which one. It could be prayer, it could be spiritual reading, it could be meditation, it could be yoga, it could be Tai Chi. It doesn't matter. Whatever your spiritual practice is, and if you don't have one, consider this. What spiritual practice is designed to do is to take us to that state I just read about, where we see the world from a different place. We don't see it from the discouraged, frustrated, overwhelmed, depressed, anxious state. We see it from a deeper place where the actual abiding sacredness of each human and everything else is more and more apparent. And so to do spiritual practice means to find a spiritual practice. And when I talk about this, I wonder how you're doing with that, because for me in my journey, I wanted to share, just in case it helps anybody, that in different phases of my experience, different practices became important, and other practices that I'd been doing for a long time stopped. And at first when that was happening, I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought, well, I've been meditating all these years, why can't I meditate right now? Well, I was going through a divorce, so there was that. But then it turned into something else, where I could then do a different spiritual practice that in that period of time was deeply powerful and meaningful. And then it changed again. And sometimes the old practices come back, and sometimes new practices need to be invited in, and sometimes after a while I stack practices. I have several now that I do on a routine basis. I don't expect any of you to necessarily do that. But what would be great, speaking from personal experience, is that to build a sturdy, resilient platform of inner peace requires living in a different way, not just in the ways that I've been talking about, but actually grounding in the divine. However you conceptualize that. You know, for many of us, the word God is uncomfortable. It's been used to batter and beat us up. So whatever is comfortable for you, well, the truth of the matter is that there is something that is flowing through all things and in sacred humans. It is gifting itself all the time, 24/7, and it's almost like a river of divinity or sacredness. And many of us touch this when we walk in nature, when we're near water, when we have the vast expanse of the ocean, and we can touch it in our daily lives. by actually dipping our toe into that river of sacredness flowing. So you have to find your own way. The different approaches are incredibly powerful, all of them. And so I can remember the first time I discovered meditation was by doing Tai Chi. And I had a great teacher and very grounded, and Tai Chi led me into being present, completely present, because he would come around behind us and kick our feet if we weren't grounded. So I learned to be very present. And in that presence, all of a sudden, I saw the world in a new way. Science of mind, the spiritual practice that goes with the science of mind, is twofold. Prayer, which we call spiritual mind treatment, and sacred study, studying different sacred books, different spiritual ideas, to help ourselves remember that there's this other place that we can actually land in and stand in when the world itself is rocking back and forth with violence and violent speaking and violent thinking and violence being incited. We can stand on that platform. So this is meant to be a reflection for you, the start of a series of talks about violence and inner peace, starting with Merton's mystical understanding that to do too much, to assign ourselves to do too muchness, is to succumb to a certain kind of contemporary violence that will keep us from feeling enough peace within ourselves to be able to be effective and compassionate activists in whatever realm we are. If you're a teacher, you would be an activist for your students. If you're a business owner, you would be activist for your employees and your business. If you're a grandmother, you're an activist for your grandchildren. If you're, it goes on and on. How do you practice? That's the key question. So, paying attention to what we dwell upon so that we become what we want. Addressing too muchness, perhaps trying Dan's top 6 for a month, every day, just see how that goes. And then noticing the overwhelm and utilizing spiritual practices to be able to stand in a sturdy, resilient place where compassion can flow and effective action. So for me to do that, I need to do prayer. So I'll do a prayer for all of us. How about that? For a moment, I'd like you to think about a particularly concerning violence in this world of ours that you sometimes swirl around, feeling hopeless or angry or out of balance with, as I do this prayer. Regardless of outer circumstances, what I know is this: there is a divine energy flowing through all sacred humans. It flows through them whether they remember that or know that or not. It's flowing in me and in you and in all things as well. Completely available, accessible always. This divine responds to our deeply held ideas and thinking. And so I commit in this moment to being extremely attentive with what I focus on. Not only that, but what I do. Not only that, but how I speak. Not only that, but what I allow myself to take in. Because in these ways of attention, I am allowing the divine energy flowing in me to ground me in its nature, which is peace, which is love, which is compassion. Like a river running through me, these energies of love and peace and compassion now, because of my willingness to attend to my life in this very clear way, they move in me more effectively and more deeply, allowing me to feel a measure of peace and allowing me to be a place of peace as I move in the world. I realize as I'm speaking for myself, this is true for you too, that in your own circle of influence, in the places where you inhabit, the same peace, both inner peace and outwardly expressed peace, is a healing balm to this world. And so if you, like me, have an interest in bringing peace forward more and more fully, I invite you to say with me, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Good. So you're all going to go out and do spiritual practices from now on, right? Well, our ushers are going to be doing a spiritual practice. What they're doing is they are receiving for our center from you. And if you are able to make a financial donation, we deeply appreciate that tithing consciousness, that giving to a source of inspiration. And for all of you who do that in so many ways, besides just giving money, thank you for everything you bring.
This morning with my mind staying on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on the spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind, staying on the spirit. Walking and talking with my mind, staying on the spirit. Walking and talking with my mind, staying on the spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Loving your neighbor with your mind, staying on the spirit. Loving your neighbor with your mind, staying on the spirit. Loving your neighbor with your mind, staying on the spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Woke up this morning with my mind staying on the spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on the spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind staying on the spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
Well, here's a couple of announcements for you. As you know, we have a teen group, and every year they hope to go to summer camp, which is a week-long experience of being immersed in love and acceptance, which for every teen I've ever known is the most important thing ever. And so we would like to invite you to support them by attending what they've carefully crafted, which is a trivia day after the service on Sunday, June 23rd, and minimum donation $15. It took about $1,100 to send them to summer camp this year. So anything they make is they're grateful for, and they assured me that the trivia they've chosen would play for all ages.
Nice.
I don't know if you've played trivia lately, but there are things I have no idea what they're talking about. So they worked on that. At the same time as that's going on in our coffee hour that day, they would love to invite people who like to bake goods, bring them, and we can sell them to support them to the people who want to eat them. So if you're a baker, we have a sign-up sheet. We also have the trivia sign-up sheet at the Ask Me desk. You can either be on a team with trivia, or you can be a single person, and so it'll be really great. And then the bake sale will get us through the trivia time because we'll be eating baked goods while we're playing trivia. We'll be brilliant. And then coming up this week is Reverend Deborah. There she is. Reverend Deborah Gay is our staff minister, minister in charge of our practitioners and our sacred circles, and knows a lot about bringing spiritual understanding to the work environment. So she's going to be our guest speaker today for our Spirit at Work breakfast. If you're just hearing about this is an incredible networking event we hold once a month from 8 to 9:30, and there's a breakfast that goes with it, but the focus is to really spiritualize our own understanding of what we're doing in the world. And so it's an opportunity to talk to other like-minded people about what they're doing and how they're doing it from a spiritual perspective. And so we love you to register at our website, because that allows Jen Brown to know how much food to buy. But if $30 is too much, don't feel like you have to pay that. We're just building a reservoir so we can pay some of out of the area speakers to come and talk about their experience. So that's coming up this Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And then I have over 20 people already signed up for my soul collage class, which is cool. If you don't know what it is, it's a very powerful way of tapping into our intuition and guidance by using a very specific collaging process that I'm a facilitator for. And the reason there's 20 people is I know it's summer, and I know that not everybody can make every single Tuesday night at 6 o'clock to do soul collage with me. So people have signed up who are maybe only doing one class, or most of them, because of their own summer schedule. So you're invited to do the same. People have said to me, can I bring people who are not part of our community? And every single soul collage class that I've taught, there's been people who were from all over the place. So yes, feel free to invite them to come, sign up so that I have enough cards, and we'll have a great time. This class starts this Tuesday at 6 o'clock here in the sanctuary. You might want to come a little bit early just to get yourself settled. If you already have soul collage cards, you might want to bring them so that people who are new have a feeling for what that's about. So that's that. And then Tabor, our music director, is leading a song circle this coming Sunday night at 6:30 to 8. This is a very different thing than being a skilled singer in a chorus or a choir. This is really harking back to the days of old when we sang all the time. We sang when we were gathering the harvest. We sang when we were threshing wheat. We sang when we were doing household chores. We sang together in community in all these different places. And so Tabor's interested in a large movement that's happening, that's bringing regular people who may not have a choir voice together to just sing and open the heart. So you're welcome to come next Sunday night. And we have a little 2-minute clip for you about this new class that's beginning June 27th. So let's hear from Mary Morrissey.
Hi, I'm Mary Morrissey, author of 2 best-selling books, No Less Than Greatness and Building a Field of Dreams, which became a PBS special. I'm also the creator of the Prosperity Plus programs. I created Prosperity Plus to give people an opportunity to do a 10-week experiment with their life, governing the ancient laws that govern abundance, the ancient laws that come through all different religions over 3,000 years old, about how we relate to the infinite side of our nature so that our potential, the infinite side of our nature, and true abundance can literally come into the material forms of our lives. So so that you can go when you want to go and do what you want to do, give what you want to give, and create and leave for your family and your world what you would really love to create and leave. Now, Prosperity Plus 2 is a 10-week dynamic experiment with your life, engaged with other congregants in a weekly class that you will do with a facilitator or one of your ministers. This is your invitation to actually experiment in a very supportive way over the course of time, learning to live from the vision, where you study material that week by week gives you simple but highly effective tools that you can employ that week. Prosperity Plus 2 members report massive increases in their income, surprise support coming their way after many, many years of struggle and breakthrough experience. So I highly encourage you to give yourself the gift of what your center, your church is offering you. The Prosperity Plus 2. All the materials, support materials are available both hard copy and digitally for your convenience, but most of all, from my heart to yours. There is a pattern by which success occurs. It operates with the invisible laws that govern all our results. You just keep breathing, you're going to have results. Not maybe, absolutely. But what those results can be, we've only taken the beginnings of discovery as we've gone on our spiritual path. Prosperity Plus 2 is created for the person who really wants to go deeper spiritually and produce greater fruit for life by means of that. I invite you today, go to the back of the room or wherever the sign-up opportunity is for you. Let's get you really going.
Okay, we have a little pause here, waiting for our live stream. There we are, back again. So this class is going to be offered on 10 Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. It's offered both in person, which I highly recommend, but also through Zoom. And the cost for the class is very different than our normal classes. There's a $45 registration that goes to our home office. And then the materials, depending on which option you choose, are digital, or you can have some that are available to you in other ways. And the class is really designed, as she said, to supercharge your experience of creation and manifestation. Your facilitator is going to be Kayla Schlaviel, who is one of our licensed practitioners and also a rabbi. And if you have questions for Kayla, she'll be here after the service and can talk to you about what this class might mean to you. And I highly recommend it. And I know there are several of us in the room that have used this class to really step into a larger circle of giving and receiving. So that's that. And then we have the most wonderful coffee team. How many of you here today are on that coffee team? Raise your hand. Just an incredible group of people who not only make the coffee, they bring treats for us, they do all kinds of wonderful things for us, and they're looking for a couple more people to join their team. And so there's a sign up for that if you would like. And there's Carmen in the back. Carmen is the head of our coffee team. Raise your hand, Carmen. And she would be happy to talk to you about what it means. It's usually a once-a-month commitment, so it's not overly taxing. But talk to Carmen about it and see if you'd like to help us make a lot of people happy on Sundays. Our men's group is meeting next Sunday at noon in the classroom, and whether you've gone every single time or you're brand new, you are welcome to attend. Philip Flores on our sound team is in charge of that group, and you can talk to him after the service about it if you'd like. Now here's the thing. We have this incredibly special group coming named Mamus. We sing a lot of their songs, and they're going to be having a concert here with their entire band. And they're going to be here on Monday, June 10th. The show opens at 6:45 with people, if you've been attending, you might know Earth Practice. Their names are Jesse and Yam. And they've come and been our special music folks from time to time. And then Mamus will take the stage. It is so uplifting. Their music is so meaningful that I encourage you to come. You sign up by going to their mamus.org site. It just so happens that one of our people, Andrea, who will be at the Ask Me desk today, you know how it is with technology. She signed up for 2 tickets, and somehow she accidentally signed up for 4. So she's interested in selling 2 of her tickets, and so you can get them right from her if you want at the Ask Me desk. But I encourage you, I'm going, Joe's going, most of my family's going. We just think they're the best, and it's very special that they're here. They, of course, chose Monday because they're in Seattle the night before, and they're going to Vancouver, BC. We just happen to be the way stop here. So that's that. Okay. So why don't we, if we're able to stand, and we will sing our way into coffee or whatever else this day holds.
I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that you can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much,